cement stocks have been on a roll, rallying anywhere between 5 to 24% odd on YTD basis. These gains are splendid for South-based cement companies, especially that for India Cements. But joining us to take the discussion forward to understand about the changing dynamics of the sector, if at all, is the Vice Chairman and the Managing Director, N Srinivasan. Hello and welcome to BloombergQuint, sir. Hi, this is Nikki.
Hi.
I'm going to start off by asking you about the price hike that has been recently undertaken in the South region. With this, do you think pricing discipline is here to stay for the industry as a whole?
I don't know about pricing discipline, but prices have gone up. And I think given the fact that the demand is improving, I think prices will stay and possibly even increase a little more.
All right, this one is going to be a two-part question then. I'd like to understand, A, if the sand mining issues are now behind us, because the region as a whole was witnessing that as a challenge. And also, if you've mentioned about the demand revival, how is the demand stacking up per se for the region as a whole now?
The sand mining issues are behind us, whether it was Tamil Nadu, Andhra, I think that's gone. As far as the demand, it's private sector. You see, as far as Andhra is concerned, we do not yet see that the demand from infrastructure sector that was there earlier, but private sector housing has picked up, and in the last 2 months, I think overall Andhra is starting to look up again, and maybe in the next 2-3 months it will bloom like it did in before the elections.
All right, so because, the reason why I was asking this question was because we saw a sharp uptick coming in the cement production per se in the last 3 to 4 months, or the IIP data showed a sharp uptick coming in from the cement manufacturing index. I'd like to understand, do you think that this could be an aberration of sorts, or you think revival is actually concrete and the trend is going to be more visible coming forward in the next few months, also that for South-based region as a whole?
See, you must look at India as 5 Indias: West, North, Central, East and South. Western India, Northern India, Central India and East have seen improvement in demand. Not much capacity has been added there, and therefore the capacity utilization in those regions are quite good. Prices are very firm. In the South also, there has been a revival of demand. Yes, October, November, would have been slightly slack, but December onwards, we are seeing an improvement in demand. And therefore, going forward, I believe that this quarter, January-March quarter, will see a decent demand all around.
Sure. I'd like to understand, since you've been in this industry for a while now and been a veteran, we'd like to understand, do you think the cement industry currently is an upcycle right now? And if yes, how different is this cycle from the previous one? Also, which region as a whole do you think would be driving the demand upward in this cycle?
See, it is a fact that cement is picking up. After the second and third quarters were a little dull, but now I think in this fourth quarter you will see that utilization levels will go up, demand is better, and going forward, and this is the busy season, you see, from January to October onwards, you will find that demand is good in most parts of the country. As far as the regions are concerned, I think the demand-supply equation is better. The West, North, Central, and maybe not much production in the East. Therefore, as far as South is concerned, there has been a capacity overhang, but that is being addressed, and that is narrowing now. So overall, I see better prices going forward.
Sure. So in that case, when do you actually see the trend reversing for South as a whole? Because we're seeing a lot of supply pressure coming in from the South region. So unless that scenario changes, we aren't expecting much of uptake coming in for the industry as a whole.
See, the South prices have gone up, and South capacity utilization is also better now. During this quarter, I think you will see much better utilization. And there is hardly any capacity that has been added here. So therefore, I think that this year may, in all probability, be much better than last year.
Okay, when you say that, which of the two factors do you think would drive the demand? Is it affordable housing segment or infra?
See, it depends on which state. For example, in Maharashtra, infrastructure is very strong. There's hardly any cement available in Maharashtra. In other parts of the south, housing is, I think, leading the race to push up cement consumption.
All right, then shifting focus to cost inflationary pressures, because that's been persistently lower for the industry as a whole. Going forward, do you think that could change given the change that we're seeing in the limestone mining awarding method, which is now shifted to reverse auctioning? You think that would lead to incremental raw material costs and long timelines?
See, this auctioning of cement blocks is has been taken by companies who already are located in that region, who already have limestone which they've got at historic cost. So this impact will not be seen immediately. I mean, they're bidding for blocks which they have to mine in the future, much later, not immediately. So therefore, I don't see any immediate impact.
Okay, so when do you actually see that percolating down on the financials of the company? When you say that you don't see an immediate impact, but going forward, 12 months down the line, 15 months, when do you see that percolating down on the financials?
If you take the cement industry as a whole, I don't see it percolating immediately. I mean, not for the next several years, because all the factories will have limestone at the moment to carry on production, on which they are paying, which have not been auctioned. It is only when a new factory is coming, which is also not there. So I don't see the impact of this auction on the cement industry at the moment. I don't see it for the next several years.
Srinivasan, last question that I have for you would be more got to do with the company specific. The company has enjoyed strong balance sheet, but then the working capital role requirement that has increased substantially. The last that we saw, that was on account of the tight liquidity condition and also the situation down the line on the ground. Do you think that is changing now? That narrative is changing. Are we seeing a control coming in on the working capital requirement loans, at least when it comes to the company part?
See, working capital was because we were selling cement, but we were not getting paid for it on time. So I think that as the demand picks up now, that will start to change. And going forward, I think that will ease considerably.
All right, so we'll leave it at that. Thank you so much for taking out the time and speaking to BloombergQuint.
Thank you.